This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
It was badass. Let's just go ahead and skip. Well, before we get there, I do want to ask about two things. Shawn is doing promos that are pretty controversial in this era, and he's starting to actually throw in all the time, I don't lay down for anybody. And that's obviously going to become an issue because he's going to have some back and forth with Brett about, you know, hey, I want you to understand, I won't return the favor type deal. This is something that happened behind the scenes, and now he's bringing it on camera. Is anybody going to Shawn and saying, hey man, you got to knock that shit off? Or does he just have carte blanche from Vince to just do what you want, pal?
He was protected. He was in his own little sphere that Vince built for him. So nobody said nothing. Not to his face. I had endless conversation with talents about, what are you going to do about Shawn? What are you guys going to do about Shawn? Why does Vince tolerate that shit? How can you let that go? All the time. And you can't give him any valid reason other than to say, well, that's the boss's decision. And my job is not to question his decision, but to make sure what his decision is happens. And that's what I'm doing. I'm doing my job. If you have an issue with how Vince McMahon is managing Shawn Michaels, may I suggest that you go meet with Vince McMahon, don't confront, converse, and see where you get with it. Then come back and tell me the results of that. I don't know that anybody ever took my advice and even tried it. They knocked a bitch about it, Conrad, but they didn't want to die on that hill.
Well, when they had, listen, I know I'm about to throw some just silly tinfoil hat shit your way, but man, fans online had theories as to why this was happening. And it's silly, but I got to ask, because I'm sure you heard it, that there was some sort of relationship with Vince and Shawn. Did anybody confront you with that? And how quickly did you dismiss it?
Are you kidding? I never even heard that.
Well, it's all over. And I don't get why.
Come on, Conrad.
Gravitate to that. It's like the most nonsense thing ever.
God. I swear to God, I've never heard that. You talking about a sexual relationship? You serious? Where did you read that? Where did you get that information?
It's everywhere online.
It's everywhere. It's a virus.
Yeah, it's COVID. Yeah, right. Everything.
Brother, I'm honest to God. As I said earlier, Shawn reminded Vince of young Vince.
Right.
In Vince's perception himself. But I never heard that story, and I think it's laughable as hell. So.
It is. I agree. But I do think when guys are scrambling for answers, like, why is nothing, there's no repercussion. There's no fallout. He can just do whatever.
Yeah.
Guys have to come up with some sort of rationale. Well, why would that be? And they get more fantastical with the tinfoil hat theories.
God. Well, that's funny as hell. I just had never heard that. So, I thought you were going to say he had something with Patterson. Oh, I don't know. That didn't happen either, but bottom line, that would have been more
plausible.
Yeah. No, that's the funny thing about the business. The talents that make up these stories are excuses for their own downfall because they can't accomplish what they want.
Right.
They're just as much a nuisance and a plague as the guys that are stirring all the shit. If one feeds the other, and it's not like, well, I had to do something. No, you didn't do nothing. It's not any of your business how Vince manages Shawn. That's not what you're here for. You're not here to evaluate the chairman of the board's managerial abilities and leadership qualities. That's not why we hired you. You're here to become a viable member of this company, get better at what you do, improve your skill sets, and help us draw money. I'll assure you this. There's so few great workers in the business that if you can become one, you have the greatest job security of anybody. because right now there just isn't enough viable stars that can go out there and carry their share of the water. Worry about your shit, not about everybody else's. But I'll tell you, I can say that defiantly or coarsely or whatever in the old JR style, but it doesn't matter. They're still going to do it. It's still being done today. A lot of talents, and I tell them all the time, look in the mirror, man. Look in the mirror, and then make your decisions and your judgments. But you got to evaluate yourself first, and where do you stand in this issue? And then again, why are you dying on this hill?
Right.
So,
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.